intended to spend about 50 minutes in giving you a couple of slides just to set the tones about what our technology is all about. And then I'll spend the next 50 minutes to show you some examples where some of our partners or students who have created games using our software. And finally, for the last 50 minutes, I intend to show you the software behind the scene. In particular, we are going to talk about how we use Flash, Air, and deliver games, not just for desktop, computer, as well as for mobiles, right? So that's pretty much the agenda for my 45 minutes presentation. So let's start with some kind of like a couple of slideshows to basically set the tone of this demonstration, right? And of course, can't go without some slide, I suppose, for all conference there. The way I deliver, though, is I want to package the presentation as started out with a PowerPoint slide, but I package it as a PDF document there. At the end, if you are interested, I can, of course, upload the slide for you as well, right? So the topic for me is really the Flash platform for games development across multiple screens, right? So if we take a look at the landscape these days, I'm sure that we all understand that the way we access information is no longer limited with computer and browsers, right? So indeed, many of us have been holding mobile phones or tablets these days, whatnot. And this is really what we are dealing with, that there are different types of devices out there, and with different form factors, different performance consideration as well, from the laptop or netbook that we are familiar with to a tablet these days, and we are seeing more and more tablets coming out in the market, especially starting from this year too, as well as on mobile phones. And there are different mobile phones that have different form factors as well, some with keyboards, some without keyboards, right? But these are the devices that we deal with, that these are the devices that people have access to, and these are the devices, if I want to create games, I want to be able to deploy on all these multiple screens. So how does Adobe help? Adobe has built an ecosystem around Flash. So on the client side, we have what we call the Flash player, as well as the Air runtime. And I'll explain a little bit more about the differences between the two there. But these are the runtime engine that allowed us to have a consistent playback across all these devices. You can imagine there is a lot of development effort if I, as a developer, has to create a single application, but in so many different versions for so many different devices out there. And apart from the performance consideration and form factors, if every development platform requires a different development tool set and programming paradigm, is a lot of work, right? So what Flash or Air does is that it provides a common runtime that allowed us to have a consistent playback across all these platforms there. Now, to create applications that run on Flash Player or Air runtime, we can use all sorts of Adobe tools to do that. Software such as Flash, we are going to take a look at it today, as well as software like Flash Catalyst and Flash Builders. There's a lot of software that comes with the word F, and these are the software that allowed us to create Flash application. Now, on the backend side, though, very often the games would want to talk to the backend. This is where software like the Flash Media Server, if you want to stream some video or audio to the Flash games as well, or lifecycle data services for us to be able to push data onto the games, as well as Code Fusion Server as such. So in particular, what is really Flash and Air? How do we differentiate between the two? The latest version of Flash Player is actually 10.1. And 10.1 is really the latest of the Flash Player that comes from Adobe. And the beauty about Flash Player 10.1 is that we make a lot of changes with this new player, even though we kind of call it a .1 release, right? 10.1 release. But this is really built from the ground up. It's really designed specifically for mobile development. So we take a lot of the capability to optimize it for smaller devices as well, and it also got better support for rich media. Right. And it provides consistent runtime across all these media there. So things like, of course, Flash Player, of course, we all know that it can run on Macintosh, run on PC, or run on Linux machine. But it's more than just Mac, Windows, and Linux. It also runs on mobile phones as well. Mobile phones such as, I think the first mobile phone that comes with a 10.1 player are the Android phone out there. And followed by, I guess, Palm, BlackBerry, Nokia, Symbian, Windows phone as well. But apart from the mobile devices, what about set-top box? So there could be PlayStations, like that, and different digital TV. Some of the digital TV these days are very high-end one, even include the flash runtime built in. So some of those are Samsung, I think, LED TV comes with a flash player inside. It means that it can actually run a flash application inside TV. Now, just to give a kind of like a quick couple of bullet points there about what we've done with this release of 10.1. It now takes full advantage of the mobile phone devices there. For example, it supports a mobile text input, multi-touch and gesture, accelerometers if you shift the phone, shake your phone a bit as well. We also optimize the memory consumption of the mobile phones as well. And mobile phone when it comes to sleep mode, graphics hardware acceleration, video acceleration, geolocation, all these are now, we have provided the API to take advantage of all these features there. What about Air? So what does that mean, right? So I've got Flash there. So what's the difference between Flash and Air? Air is really built based on the Flash technology. When people talk about Flash, basically or typically what people associate Flash with are an application that is played inside a browser, right? So when we talk about Flash, people refers to a Flash website, Flash application, Flash movie sitting inside the browser. But Flash experience can go beyond the browser as well. And in this case, we call it Adobe Air. And with Adobe Air, it's still the Flash experience, but it runs outside the browser. Now, what does that give us? It gives us, of course, everything that is with Flash 10.1 and some more. Because it's sitting outside the browser, it enables us to have deeper integration with the operating systems. For example, it allowed us to take advantage of drag and drop from the desktop, and access some of the OS files as well. For example, I could be able to use an Air application that access users' local hard drive. And because it's outside the browser, it also means that it could work with or without internet access. It becomes like a native desktop applications there. So many of the limitation that is with Flash sitting inside the browser is now taken away. We could now expand the features a lot more. Now, for people who are building Flash, we do have some suggestion though, even though that we've now made available the Flash 10.1 as well as Air 2 for mobile development, we do think that there's still best practices when it comes to creating Flash application on your mobile devices. Now, who among the audience there, who are using Flash? Anyone use your Flash? Okay, all right, so we've got a lot of the Flash users there. So I presume that when it comes to game development, you'll be doing a lot of the coding and obviously most likely using ActionScript 3 as well. So here are some of the tips that we suggest that you pay attention to, even when we have optimized the Flash player or mobile phones already, right? So some of the things that you might want to take a look at is that when it comes to Flash, of course, Flash is a vector authoring tool, so we draw things in as a vector there, but which works very well, play back on the computer pretty well. But when it comes to mobile phones, we suggest try use bitmap instead of vector as much as you can, because vector you need to render every single frame, right? So bitmap will be, the file size may be a little bit more bigger, but the performance will be a lot better there. If you do need to use vector, try to minimize the vector and make sure that you test the animation across different devices there. And in particular, if you are using bitmap there, a few things that you want to avoid is to avoid using filters, avoid using blend modes, avoid using transparency, avoid using perspective, right? So these are all very CPU intensive exercise there. Now, of course, we also want to make sure that we want to minimize the footprint, the file size of the Flash movie, so minimize or reuse the objects as much as possible. This is why those things like movie clips are always there. Why do we do that, right? Use movie clips there to reuse the object as much as possible there. Now, when it comes to text, with Flash CS5, we've got a new text engine called Text Layout Framework. Now, avoid that because this is going to tax the performance a bit. So try to use the classic text if you are using Flash CS4, so the text is what you are using now, so that's fine. If you are using Flash CS5, make sure that for better performance, don't use the new layout TLF, new text layout framework, use the classic one. And avoid things like anti-aliasing, that sort of thing, right? And no background transparency as well. Now, when you want to test your animation, do you know that when you debug your animation, you can do things like check the redraw region? When you check the redraw region, you can actually see how it redraw every single frame as well, right? So make sure that you show the redraw region, and you'll see things that might be overlapping, that even though you are not changing it, but it's still redrawing. So again, this is a big tip to help you optimize the animation that you are doing. And about timing as well. So when you test create the Flash application, these days, the default of the frame per second with Flash, I think it's 24 frames per second. Obviously, that might be a bit too high for mobile phones, so make sure that you don't test it too much. And try to don't put in too many event listener as well. If you could combine them into one, so much the better as well, right? So use enter frame event as necessary, only when necessary, etc., etc. Right. Now, computer. When we develop an application for computer, we look at the screen as a wide screen, right? And we seldom rotate the screen, right? But if we are running an application on mobile phones, we got to understand that people, change the orientation of the phones as they hold the phones there. Now, we can actually, you don't have to think about it, but you can actually cater for it. If you cater for it, you give user the best experience. Depends on how they orient the phone as well. With Flash, of course, we could detect the screen resolution and let you program it accordingly as well, so something to bear in mind. The other thing is when it comes to programming in Flash, there's a difference between programming ActionScript. We have got what we call shape, sprite, and movie clips, right? So again, start from this order. If at all possible, use shape. That will be the least CPU intensive. If you need a little bit more functionalities like interactivity, then you create the object as sprite. Only when you need to use the timeline do you make the object as movie clip. Okay, all right. So, and then of course, again, some of the programming things to remember is that when you're done with the object, instead of just hide it or delete it, make sure that you remove any event listener as well. Right, so those are just things to make the application run a little bit better, right? Now, bitmap caching, again, avoid if you can. Now, okay, all right, so much for the slide, right? So what's next, right? I'm going to show some examples there, and then, as I said before, do some demonstration as well. But before I leave the slide here, these are the 3-point plan that I got here for you, right? Now, get a copy of Flash. Buy a copy of Flash, right? And, or if not, even better, if you buy a copy of CS5, so much the better, all right? Now, then where do you learn? Where do you learn programming in Flash? We've got great resources there at adobe.com. There's a developer network under the games category. We've got lots of information for you. And finally, if you have created some games, we invite you to submit the games to Adobe Air Marketplace. And we could, we've got facilities for you to upload the Air application. We've also got a try and buy mechanism as well. So you could learn about how do you deploy try and buy within the Adobe Air application. There's some documentations, tutorials there, some sample code, and you can set up an account and you can host your application up there. And finally, of course, I've got a blog as well. So I'll actually upload this slide at the end of today, upload the slide there. So if you forgot some of the the slide there, you could go to brianchau.wordpress.com, and I'll upload my slide later today. All right? So that's for now, right? So let's take a look at some of the examples that kind of like done by our customers using Flash as well as Air. I want to show you some examples that is played inside the browser as well as some examples that played outside the browser. All right? Now, here, start with an example that is, I always love this example because this was done by a high school student. Not even a higher ed student, right? A high school student at Cheswood High. And that was one of the assignments there, so I thought, hey, you know, high school student, let's see what he's doing there. And what he's done is that this was just an assignment. The teacher wanted the student to create games, and the student come up with a chess game. So this is kind of like a very simple chess game there, and pretty much you could click on it, and then you could move the chess around. Now, this isn't an AI. So it's not an AI game, not playing against the computer. Basically, you have two people playing with each other. But I thought, sorry? Right. Okay, all right, let's do that, right? So, okay, all right. Now, thank you, yeah. I've been practicing a bit as well, right? Now, I thought that was quite impressive because from a high school student, I think year 9 or year 10. So what do you think? Pretty good, huh? Right. Now, I thought that's fantastic, right? But remember, I was saying that these days, you've got multiple devices there, multiple screens. So I took the liberty, when the student was creating the assignment that was meant for just a Flash project, work on the machines there, work on the computer there. But I took the liberty and put it onto a mobile phone. Right. As I said before, the beauty about Flash is that we provide a common runtime. So if it works on a computer, it also works on a phone as well. So here I've got a phone with me. It's a Windows phone, HTC Windows phone there. Now, hard for you to read the screen there, but I've got a screen mirror software with me, so you could actually see my mobile phone, right? Awesome, thanks, right? So what I've done here, because we are doing a screen mirror, so the performance is a bit slow, but hopefully you'll still see something there. So I'm going to go to a games folder. So you see there's this games folder there. I'll click the games, and you see the Flash game is on my Windows phone. Right. So if I test this, and the same application is now displayed on a mobile phone, right? See? So that's very cool, isn't it? I haven't even touched one single line of code. I simply package it and display it on a computer. Now, as I said before, don't worry because the screen is a bit slow here, these are screen mirror there. But otherwise, it works exactly the same. I could still select chess and move the chess around just like what I've done before. Isn't it nice? As I said before, you know, in the past, if you have to say every single platform create a different version of the application, it's going to be questions there, right? So it's going to be a pain, right? Question is that question right at the front? Why what? Sorry? Oh, well, yeah, why black chess first? Well, you know, we are very liberal with this game. All right. Now, yeah, I'll show you some more chess games later on, but I think this is just goes to show you how simple it is to have a single runtime that works on multiple devices there. Now, this was done by students. I want to show you some work that was done by some developers there. Now, here is a website that you might want to take a look at later on, terrypattern.com. And with this terrypattern.com, he actually creates so many different games there as a gallery, so you could check it out as well. And actions game, puzzles game, racing games, etc., all done in Flash. And if I go to actions game, I think there's lots of actions game that you could actually try out as well. So games such as maybe a tennis game. Yeah, so all done in Flash, right? So here it is. And,
come on, guys, give a bit of attention, could you please?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So there's a play there, and then, of course, you start with the game, and you can move the racket around, and then basically I could do a, No, I'm just showing you how you could lose a pawn, right? So you could, and I'm going to try a bit of a volley as well, right? Right. Right. So we don't need to continue with this. Again, are you asking me about the rules, right? Well, it's a real question. Okay, all right.
Does this site give out the source code as well?
Now, the source code depends. For this particular developer, no. This is something that he just created. He's shared the games with you. However, if you want some source code, remember I was showing you a URL about the game development there. I mean the website from Adobe. This is where you get a lot of source code. Here we've got questions over there.
Was that made in ActionScript 2.0 or 3.0?
3. Yeah, so basically here is a question on ActionScript there. These days, if at all possible, I know some of you are learning some ActionScript there. If at all possible, write in ActionScript 3. And indeed, if you want to write the application on mobile phones, 10.1 or Air 2 has to be ActionScript 3. Okay, all right. Now, I'm going to take a few more questions as well, but here I want to show you one example there. This is, remember previous example was a game website. This website is playcrafter.com. It actually lets you build a game, right? So it was using Flash to create an authoring environment to let people create their own games. So you could, right? So you could, hang on, let's see. So it's loading now. There are, again, different templates there which allow you to either create a game from scratch, which obviously we don't have time there, or you could create games from any of the templates there. Where are my templates? Yeah. Okay, start from scratch, right? So maybe, some of the template isn't loading now. But so I can start from scratch there. And once you start from scratch, I hope it's loading. Now, once you start from scratch, it actually let you bring in different blocks for you to assemble a game, right? So there's all these golf games or whatever. For some reason, it's not loading now for this site. So let's not worry too much about it. You can try it out your own. Go to playcrafter.com and you could see how they let users assemble and create their own games. There are different objects that you could drag onto the stage and that makes up different rules. Not working now, right? Anyway, those games so far that we've seen are kind of like single user. You play against yourself. Now, obviously, much more fun if we could play against multiple users as well. So there are different kind of like social media that we could have Flash interact with. Things like Facebook, for example. You can create ActionScript games that you can invite other Facebook friends onto your games as well. Now, to learn how to create ActionScript games that take advantage of the Facebook, again, go to adobe.com Developer Network. We've got a tutorial to walk you through the process of how you could access the Facebook API within your ActionScript. So here is a Facebook page. On this Facebook page, there are lots of Facebook games that was done in Flash there. So this is kind of like where you could challenge your Facebook friends. So click the challenge there. It shows you your Facebook friends there. And you can invite them to games there. Or in this case, I'm going to just do practice, right? So not very with inviting the friends there. So this is a very bowling game, right? So you could kind of like drag the bowling ball there and basically hit the ball. Of course, need a little bit of warm-up for me, right? Oh,
not bad, not bad.
Not bad, right? So if I could finish with the spare, so that would be very good. Let's see. Okay, all right.
No good. Minimize it, no one sees it.
That's okay, right? That's okay, I've got a good one first initially, right? You can't expect much, really. Now, but this is... I guess not so much about the games. What this demonstration is all about is really about how, if you're a Flash developer, you can build a multi-user games that even integrate with social media network like Facebook. All right? All right. Now, really, I guess just to redeem myself, I'm going to hit a good one. Oh, no.
Redeem himself.
No, I'm not going to redeem. No, let's go. Yeah. No. I can do better than that. Now, so far, what have we seen? Applications building, running inside a browser. what about application running outside the browser, right? So this is where Adobe Air comes in. Right. The beauty of Adobe Air is that, because it's now a native application, it works with or without internet access. Obviously, with internet access, even better. But here I've got a game that doesn't rely on internet access. So there's one of the puzzle games there, jigsaw puzzle. The game, you can get it from Adobe website as well, the marketplace there. Now, because it's a desktop application, it can integrate with the desktop. You can even have Air access my local hard drive. So this is going to be a jigsaw puzzle there. Now, instead of using pre-built image from the developer, I can actually use picture from my hard drive. So in this case, I'm going to grab some pictures there. What about this? Jellyfish, okay. All right. So see, now, wait. Before this, I'm going to drag something else. Okay, no, sorry. I'll drag the jellyfish. Guess what happened? It turned the jellyfish into all these tiles. Build a puzzle, and then you have to stay with me for the whole night. Right? Okay, I'm not going to finish that. I did. My only criticism of this game is that it only got one level. I think it should have multiple levels, maybe have a level 0. I want to start with level 0. I don't want to start with the 48 pieces puzzles there. Okay, all right. But it goes to show you that games that can sit outside the browser integrate with the desktop. Now here I'm going to run another game. This is again another chess game. But this time the chess game runs outside the browser and also work into a multi-user environment as well. So there's a chess game. I'm going to log in. And I'm going to click connect and learn some rules there. So there are different rooms there. Each room may or may not have someone sitting in the room. Right, so I might just try this one of those one of the room there. I don't know whether it's well, there are someone in this room. So see that there's someone in this room and they are playing. I can observe it as an observer, and no, I don't want to observe. I want to play. Right. So here there's this table where this guy is sitting a bit lonely. Right. Shall we join him? Right. So. But this is just a... No, okay, all right. So see that now there's I can actually now play, right? So this guy playing with, and is me, is it me or... Oh, no, just observing. No, I can't play this one. Right. So let me go back. Let me enter a room where there's really someone... Oh, here it is, right? Thunder Lord, right? So let's go there. Okay, all right. Oh, okay, all right. Now me, right? So that's me. Thunder Lord. Oh, Thunder Lord. I don't know where he's from, right? So I'm going to move. Right. And so I'll be waiting. Hopefully he's not just sitting there. He's going to play as well. But oh, he's actually playing. Right. So what should I do? Smash him? No, no. Oh, okay, I'm going to try something, right?
He's going for a blitzkrieg.
How's that?
He's going for a 3-move win.
Should I get it? Right, so, go. No, sorry. I mean, I have to say something. This is just a demo. I really need to go, right? We are not going to finish this game. Oh, right. Yeah, I know, yeah. But some other time. Now, if you want to help me out, go to Adobe Marketplace, right? Sign in an account and now redeem for me, right? So make sure that you check for this guy, Thunder Lord, right? So we want to win next time, all right? Now, really quickly want to spend the next 15 minutes now to show you, okay, all right, we've seen some example. Oh, no, there's one more example that I really want to show. We've seen example that is playing inside the browser. We've seen some example that are playing outside the browser. We've seen some example that are playing against myself. I've also seen some example that are playing against other people. Now, it is entirely possible to create a Flash application, an air application, that can interact across multiple devices as well. I want to show you this kind of like as a kind of like concept, right? It's not a real application, but it's at least a concept. There's this website, so there's a lot of code that you could learn from it as well, called Become an Air Pilot. Right. So you know, the way it works is that you need to have a mobile phone, and you need to have a computer, and you sync the two together. Now, obviously, too much of a problem there. But what it does is that there's a little bit of the video which walk you through as well. So effectively, what it is really just showing you how the guy was creating an application. See how he moved the mobile phone. And there's some sound, but not sure if it comes out, right? But I'll expand this window a little bit, right? So what you see is that there's this little air application, and then there's another air application on a mobile phone. I think there's a Google phone, right? And see how he rotated the phone as if he was driving the airplane. Cool? Okay, crash, right? Okay, all right, yeah. Now, give it a try. Give it a try. You could learn more about this. Check this Air Pilot, right? So I'm going to show you basically a couple of things about how we build a Flash application. Puzzle play. Okay, all right. Now here is very simple. Anyone who raised your hand just a while ago when I asked who are using Flash, we all know how to create this puzzle application. Because basically, I was just really being lazy, right? As I am, right? So I've basically just download a sliding component, a puzzle component, put into my Flash application, right? And this sliding component, what it does is really just let you bring in a bitmap and make it into different tiles, etc., right? So I write a little bit of action script, and this is a very simple action script there. Just a few lines, right? And let me just bring it. So the action script is very simple. What I'm saying is that when this application runs, load a JPEG image, right? And then, what's that? Will do, right? I control enter, right? But after I load this photo, I'm going to start the game, right? Now, of course, then control enter will let me test this movie, right? And it works. Trust me, we've got only 15 minutes, so I'm not going to test this as yet, right? Because control enter, it'll run this application on the browser, and we know that it will work. I know that it will work, right? But remember, I was saying that I want a single runtime that can work within the browser, outside the browser, even onto mobile phone as well. So what do I need to do? What I need to do is really control enter, but make sure that if I want to test this application on mobile phone, make sure that it's tested within the device central. And when this device central, it will run this application inside a mobile phone emulator for me. So what it's going to do now is that you will launch this application right inside a mobile phone. Of course, it's running a mobile phone emulator. You can also browse different mobile phones profiles as well. So there are all sorts of mobile phones there. What I might do is I've already got a profile like the Google Nexus one. So I might just select the Nexus one. And you actually see the mobile application running on mobile phone, right? So, and you need to, now this, so see that I need to move some of the tiles as well, right? So you need to kind of like move the tile around, and that becomes pretty hard as well, right? So you move the tiles, and then you shuffle the applications there. Now the problem though isn't so much about moving the tiles. It's the problem, watch this. What if user rotate the phone? So is that a good experience? No, it's not, right? The application doesn't really adapt to landscape mode, right? So this is why, you know what, well, I really don't want this. Back into the Flash, even though we can use the same code to run on mobile phone, but as a developer, you can do better. You can write a little bit more action script to tell how this application should respond when the mobile phone is rotated, right? So as such, let me just uncomment some of these code. When I uncomment this code, what I've done now is that I am asking the Flash to respond to the screen resolution. So it depends on the screen resolution. I want to reflow the application instead of portrait to landscape. And indeed, I'm going to replace a photo with a landscape photo as well. All right? So this is something that you can do. The other things that you can also do is to respond to accelerometer. So how do we reshuffle the tile? You could have accelerometer in such a way that maybe I want to detect how you shake the phone, right? So if you shake the phone along the x-axis, if you shake it too much, I'm going to restart this application, just like that, right? So I'm going to Control Enter now and see what is it going to look like. So still the same applications there, right? Watch. I'm going to rotate the phone in hold it horizontal. So see the tile, see the tile instead of 2 columns by 3 columns, now it's 3 columns by 2 columns, right? If I go back to portrait, it's changed to 2 columns by 3 columns. All right, now let's shake the phone. How do we test shaking the phone, right? You don't actually shake my computer as such. Within the device central, we've got the accelerometer simulation as well. So you could shake it like this. All right. So as you shake, see how you reshuffle the application? Is that cool? Right. So now is sorry. Do the puzzle. Well, you know, I'm not really going to do the puzzle. I'm terrible with the puzzle there, right? You know, this isn't a puzzle that I like because there's another puzzle that I like. Right? Now, this is a puzzle that I will actually do it, right? Now, that was an application running inside the browser, right? So what I want to do now is to show you that, well, you know what? How do I make this application run outside the browser? Because I really don't like these pre-built pictures. Those are not my pictures. I want to use my own pictures there. So if you are building a Flash application, there's no way you can let user pre-access their own picture. The answer is Adobe Air. So the same application here, I'm going to output it as Adobe Air. I'll show you the, this version, right? Pretty much like before, except that I've written a few more lines of action script. Yeah, so what are we doing? Because we are going to make it outside the browser, there are a few things I want to do. I want to create a file menu for my application. So in this case, I bring in some native file menu API from ActionScript. I want to access user's hard drive. I bring in a file API as well. I want to enable drag and drop, so I bring in the drag and drop API. I also want to let user be able to update the application as well. So I've got some application update API that I bring in. Once I brought in these files, this is how I create a file menu. So I'm going to create this application, the same puzzle application that I've shown you before, but with 2 files menu. One is file, one is help. Under the file menu, I will have a submenu open that allows user open the hard drive. And then I also have level 1, 2, and 3 of the game and exit as well. Under the help menu, I want to have a menu called donate. So if someone likes my games, they can give me some money. Check for updates, etc., etc. Right. Well, you know, I'm very generous indeed. For this particular game, I actually make it available for you guys for free. Well, yeah, I give you the code, better can give you the money, you know. Now, what if someone select a file from their hard drive? I'm going to load this photo onto the game. If someone drag and drop, I'm going to see what sort of file they're going to drag and drop onto the application. In particular, I'll accept JPEG and PNG and nothing else. If someone bring in JPEG and PNG, I'm going to load the photo into my puzzle. Okay? And then somewhere along the line, I check the update as well. So I'm going to test this application now. So Control Enter. And what you are seeing now is the same application that now sits outside the browser, right? All right? Okay, outside the browser, you can move the tiles definitely, but I could do drag and drop, right? Well, first, file access first, right? So see that there are two menus there, file open and whatever. They are level, so I could go for level 3. Right? Cool, right? Do it, right? No, not really. Open a particular file. What will it do? Open my local hard drive. Right, so I could select it. Right. Drag and drop. Well, it wouldn't let me drag and drop. Why wouldn't it let me drag and drop? Not the right file type, right? So I may just go and bring the pictures there. My son is with me, so I'm going to drag and drop a photo of my son. Right. So Lachlan, that's you. Right. Level 1 maybe, yeah. Right, so that's it, a little bit easier, I think, right? Yeah, I'm trying to. Close enough, right? Close enough, all right.
Come on, guys.
Now, how do you let people access? Now, for Flash website, it's easy. You have a Flash, you have a web server, you upload the Flash content, and that's fine, right? What about Air? How do you let users access your application? Now, to let users access your application, install your application, you can actually put your Air application onto a web server, and we've got an install badge ready for you to use. The install badge is a very simple web page with a simple Flash movie there that allows you to point towards your Air application installer. So when users log into your website, the first thing they see is this little install applications now. Now, in this case, before I start this demonstration, I have uninstalled the Air application on my hard drive. I want to show you the process there. So basically, use this install badge. This, in turn, will point towards the Air installer. Someone log into this website, they see you replace my graphics, right, with your graphics there. They click OK, and they will tell them that to install this application. I'm going to install it, and what it's going to do is that you install the Air application onto the user's hard drive. And you can even specify whether you want to start the application or not, but I'm not going to start it yet. And that's it. Now, if the user doesn't have an Air runtime, it will also install the Air runtime as well. So I click Finish, and now it's sitting on my hard drive. So there's this application now sitting on my hard drive. Double click, is now running there, just like before. So anything that we've done before works exactly as it is, right? It is a native desktop application. That means that if you want to uninstall the application, there's an uninstaller as well. So I could go to the program. And my puzzle application is right there. Right. So see that, right? So if I click uninstall, then that will uninstall the application that we've done before. All right, so this is a very short demonstration about today, how we introduce Flash and Air to you guys, right? So hopefully you've got some idea about what that is. Remember that you've got Flash, many of you got Flash already. It's very easy for you to install, create a Flash or Air application that works inside the browser, outside the browser, as well as across devices. All right? Okay, now, before I let you go, I'll answer some questions. I'll answer up to 3 questions there.
Questions. Those who had questions from before. Got one there, got one here. Serious
3 questions,
please.
3 questions. Okay, all right, good. So I'll answer the 3 questions there. Now, I've got the reason why I answer 3 questions only is because I've got 3 prizes for the 3 of you, right? Okay, so the first question comes first.
Where can I purchase a copy of CS5? And
I love this question. Sorry?
Is there a student discount?
Yes, so the question CS5, there is an education pricing. The education pricing of CS5 is actually about 80% off. Not 80% off, right? 80% off the commercial retail price, so that's a big deal. You pay 20%. Now, when it comes to where can you buy it? Either at adobe.com, there's where you could buy the student pricing, or just go to any of those university bookstore. They can hopefully will be able to let you purchase one. Now, can you come out at the end? Can you come out at the end? I have a prize for you. The prize is a free copy of so start with Adobe Photoshop Elements and Premiere Elements for you free, right? So at the end, come out, and I need you to fill in this form because I need to send the software to you. Now, who was the second questions there? I think the guy over there at the front, right? So no, the guy at the front there, and then the third one. Okay, all right. So second one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, better use the mic because other people might want to hear your question as well.
Does your mic work? Are there any major differences between the Mac and the Windows versions of Adobe? Adobe
no, about the platform differences there, none. These days, the Adobe says Flash CS5, it works pretty much the same. If there are differences, it's some operating system specific features there. But otherwise, the software works exactly as it is. All right, so there's our second question.
We'll do the last one here.
So this is the last one.
They were the first 3. There was the 3 of those were the first ones to go up.
So second prize for you, sir. You've got Adobe Flash CS5 Professional. Okay, all right. Now, third prize is the third questions.
Hello. How long have you been in the Adobe company yourself?
How long have I been working for Adobe? I worked for Macromedia before. And sometime about 5 years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, Adobe acquired Macromedia and I became Adobe SE, right? But altogether with Macromedia and Adobe is more than 10 years. So time flies, right? So for that, thank you for your question, and I've got you the best prize, right? The last prize is Adobe CS5 Web Premium, right? So make sure that you guys, the 3 of you, come to me at the end, and I'll ask you to fill in the details, right? Now, I understand that my time is out, right? I'll still be around a little bit there, so if you've got questions at the end, maybe you can come out and ask me questions, or you could go to my blog, and then you could ask me questions there. All right, so my blog is brianchau.wordpress.com. All right, good. Thanks, everyone. Cheers.
Brian Chau, everybody. Round of applause.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, I got in trouble vision mixing that because I kept watching it and then yeah. So that was my bad vision mixing that was causing it. I think that's lunch, guys. We'll send you in just a moment. So easy.
Hold on.
Relax. Take a breath.
The food's not going anywhere.
When we come back, we'll have some student presentations. We'll have some more gaming. We'll try and get some more GoldenEye and things there as well. Mark from Ozbox wants to give away his prizes after lunch as well.
Yep.
And I think Andrew wants to talk to you as well.
Andrew wants something.
Oh, yeah, if you're one of the students that spoke to me earlier or over the last few days wanting to do a student presentation, please come up now for that. So, yeah. All right, so go have some lunch.
See you when you get back.